All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Overwatch 2 stream. Today, the Idaho Vandals are going to be playing against the SUNY Cobleskill over in New York. I'm your host, Spirit, joined by my co-host, Kaz, today.
Do you want me to go?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that makes sense. This is a good time to take it off, and I'm already excited to cast this game. It's always a fun time to be able to cast Overwatch, and especially for this team. The University of Idaho has gone undefeated in their regular season so far, and have already long past made their playoff qualifier. So now the question is, can they keep it up, and can they set an expectation for what we're to see in the off season? Right. We've been setting up outside of the bye and the forfeit win, right? We've been setting up in a very incredible performance, and the Vandals have done a very consistent job showing that they have the opportunity, they have the ability to grow. They know how to, and every single time that we see them back on the server, they just look stronger and stronger as a team. And that is what I'm expecting to see today. I'm also expecting to see Samoa and
Maybe a little bit
Kings
Kings
Row.
Row.
And
Some Cobleskill for feeling adventurous.
yeah, I would be very surprised if we are not seeing those two very normal maps that we see in this series every
Absolutely.
single week. And maybe
Oh, we still have some Overwatch players hanging around here in the lab.
maybe not too much on it, right? I guess Samoa is a good map, and Kings Row, I'm learning to enjoy it a little bit more, begrudgingly, right? But I am. But it seems like these players enjoy it, and that's fine. You know, they play it every week. They better.
Absolutely. And despite even like as we're talking about with their dominant wins that they've been seeing so far and the undefeated streak, every single week they're still coming into practice. They're still discussing strategies. They're still finding things they can learn and improve on. And I think that's what's leading to this success. I was sitting down with them during their practice the other day, and the entire time they're on Kings Row, shocker, just running around the map, going to different positions, talking about what they want to do, where they want to go. And the cool thing about it was no one's voice outweighed the other person's voice. Everybody had important things to say, and they all listened and communicated with each other to find the best strategies. And that's ultimately why this team is doing so well. They're doing this with every map they go on, finding out which characters they can play that work with each other. I saw them trying to lab out this really funny Cassidy roll to get to high ground off of a May wall. It didn't work, but maybe they practiced it off when I wasn't there, and they found a way to make it work. Who knows? Only time will tell if we'll see that or not.
Maybe they picked up a Symmetra.
Oh,
I'm telling you, like, some people do not understand how broken Symmetra still is.
Yeah.
Crazy HP on her TP, so much damage multiplier from her turrets. I guarantee that we're going to see Symmetra played in Stockholm.
Probably.
Which
Back
maybe I'm
in
excited
my day,
for.
She had a shield generator.
Yeah.
And a little barrier you could throw out in front of you. Oh, wait,
Oh,
no,
she has that
They
now.
bring that back. Yeah,
Yeah, she has that again.
Back
as a
in my
turret.
day, that was a core part of her kit.
Yeah.
And she had 6 turrets, too. Her beam used to automatically aim for you. You didn't have to aim it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
What an awful time.
They were reworking Symmetra literally every 3 months. Like, the Symmetra that we had that kind of before, like, up until now was known as it's Symmetra 3.0.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy, like how you're just talking, because she was so bad, and now we're gonna see her in Worlds most likely.
Yeah.
We see the Vandals run her every single game. Like, it's a good pick. And if you told me back in 2017 that Symmetra would have been a pro pick in Overwatch, I would have laughed in your face.
Imagine what your reaction would have been when Torb was a pro pick.
That is very true. Yeah, seeing that, like I remember seeing a Torb Bastion meta.
Pre-perks, right when Hazard came out. Oh gosh,
That's insane.
It looked so cooked when like Hazard came out, and then the meta was just Torb Sim, and then perks came out, and the game was honestly saved.
That I do second that. Yeah,
yeah.
They needed something to freshen it up with Rivals coming out because Rivals was on the hot streak at the time, and now the tables have turned. Where I think Overwatch is taking back its place from Rivals. A lot of people are kind of steering away, which is funny because I just now steered towards playing Rivals.
But Blizzard definitely is trying to establish the game as the esport that it is, the legacy esport that I think it rightfully deserves to be. As we can see, maybe some Overwatch fans may know that Overwatch World Cup was confirmed for BlizzCon 2026.
USA!
I'm very excited for.
Me too.
I haven't been in the Overwatch community for much longer than a year, and I've only heard about Overwatch World Cup like by campfire story, right?
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to have the opportunity to be able to watch it live or maybe in person.
Hey Blizzard, you need some ambassadors for Team USA?
You need some ambassadors for Collegiate Overwatch? We got you. We got you. But let's talk about the game tonight. Let's stop talking about Overwatch as a whole. Let's actually talk about the game tonight. Tonight, the Vandals are going to be playing SUNY Cobleskill. That is a tough name.
Me and Bradical were trying to figure out. We thought it was like at first I told it to him and he's like cobblestone, like Minecraft, and Cobbleskull, like. But let's see how name. I can't figure it out.
No.
But maybe we can figure out their Overwatch team.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see what we have on the server today. First map is going to be Samoa. bans are going to be Zarya and Tracer.
They've done their
pretty
homework on
fair.
Brawler. See that he can kind of melt on Zarya, unless we ban the Zarya.
Well, I mean, it's not like I don't think it's homework enough, right?
True.
I think every single week we see Brawler come out on the Hazard,
Valid, yeah.
and Zarya really only comes out if the SUNY is about to play Diva, or the going gets a little bit too tough once we get to City Center, and we got to change some things up, right? Going into this first map, first point, Volcano. It's always Volcano. I don't know why every time you queue this map, it's Volcano. But
teams are actually swapped around. Up here on the overlay, it has Idaho labeled as SUNY and SUNY labeled as Idaho. So
yes. Put your NA production jokes in chat now. But it goes back to the new overlay that we have.
Does look really good.
Provided to us by our overlay artist and other multimedia artists, fight arts. Lovely to have them. Super awesome to see their work on screen. Super awesome to see this fight on screen. Things are moving very quickly. See that Brig taken out very early in the fight, and the Symmetra actually, the first time we're seeing that this season from the Vandals out on the map, Finn, helping find a couple kills to push Cobleskill back a little bit. It's going to be that first cap for the Vandals to get things going for the first map.
Looks that way, as Cobbleskill's kind of forced to regroup and push around. Rotating up, trying to take the high ground position over on the left side. Going to try to hyperspace through, but Brawler's able to successfully wall him off, force the Juno to take the high ground, look for the healing rockets. Taking the high ground. All right, Gator finds one pick on a Magic Turtle. Putting Cobleskill at the advantage here. Force the Vandals to fall back as Brawler does successfully wall off the Junker Queen, force her to push forward into the Vandals. Rotating downwards. All right, nice take coming in from Cobleskill. Halfway on the objective. Vandals got about 40%, and it gets snatched from him.
I mean, that flip is not something that you want to see this early. And these trades as well, you see Meat falling to Dashbra and Magic Turtle finding a trade, but, Brawler's going to fall to the Brig as well. The Vandals are either forced to die or leave, and it seems like a couple of them are going to be taking that former option. Being put on the back foot this early into the map. It's something that we haven't seen from the Vandals super often, but I'm sure they're not too concerned. Obviously, they have that Deadeye up. They're pretty close to that downpour. Already have that rush online. Meanwhile, Cobleskill has that rally online, has the orbital online from the Juno, which could give them the firepower that they need to be able to find success in this fight. But only time will tell, which it's already kind of proving itself, right? Gator, Dashbra being the first to find kills to just absolutely destroy the Vandals push, and only with one ult too. That is not the kind of circumstance that you want to see. They only had to use that rally to win that fight, meaning that they have so much more firepower to take these next couple fights with, to maybe even secure them the point.
And we're about to see 8 ults on the objective right now. Vandals got 4, and then we're just there for Gator getting Blossom, so might be a lot of Q press in this fight coming up here. Vandals are looking to run straight through, charge on the point. Brawler's going to go ahead and drop the downpour, but it doesn't look like he caught anybody with it. As Dashburn's going to go ahead and look to zone out with the high noon. Nobody home. Checked our clocks today. But Gator's going to go ahead and find a pick on the Meat. We'll trade it up with Dashburn. Aspect takes out Widowfang. We're going to go ahead and charge right up towards, pick up the Vandals one after another. Sandman doesn't go home without a fight. Stuck here on the points alone, getting chased down, and loses the objective once again. Got up to 50% there, though.
It's such an unfortunate fight for the Vandals. Now, moving into last fight territory, and so many ults having been exchanged through both teams. The only ult that it seems that Cobleskill has coming up is that rally, right? And it's only on 45%. That's still a long time to try and play a neutral, to try and rebuild that ult. But maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe the neutral is going to do all the work for them. Meat's going to be the first one to fall from the Vandals, and Gator is going to be the first one to fall from Cobleskill. Right now, Cobleskill has the numbers, has the advantage, and though some are going to be falling, it seems like some of the Vandals are just falling slowly, their demise being ultimately delayed over and over. you see Widowfang trying to keep things alive with the help of Meat, right? He throw the Suzu throne to try and keep Widowfang alive, but it's not going to be enough, and Meat's going to be the last one to die. That first point is actually going to be granted to Cobleskill in such well-played fashion, right? You saw a lot of great discipline coming out of that team. That was making it really hard for the Vandals to find an answer to what they were dealing with. And a lot of that, what they were dealing with, was Aspect, right? As they're going into this next point, they're really going to need to find a way to shut that break down and make sure that she can't keep the rest of her team up, and maybe use that as an opportunity to collapse on the rest of Cobleskill.
Absolutely. Giving me flashbacks to the Go meta, seeing a break pop off so hard this game. They also had just great use of their ult economy that round, too. Didn't overuse, didn't underuse, just perfect execution oh my goodness, caused the Vandals to step back down whenever they went to approach the fight. But that's only round one. I do believe that's the first time the Vandals have lost round one here on Samoa going into it. They usually pick that one up and keep the momentum rolling here. So see if that kind of got to them a bit and how they're going to come back to see if they can take round two or if Cobleskill's going to go ahead and pick up the first game here. Baller starts us off with an early elimination, walling off Aspect, picking it up. Just like you said, need to focus on the Brig, get her out of the fight right when it starts. Magic Turtle diving in a little deep onto the Junker Queen, forced to fall back to go regroup with the rest of the team here. And so does Cobleskill. But the Vandals do go ahead and capture the point first to start this round off.
And though we did see Widowfang get picked off really early, I'm not too worried about how the approach is going for the Vandals. They're keeping defense up pretty good, but the support and the Freya playing these off angles are really, really uncontested. You can tell that Cobleskill is creating a lot of tense situations for the Vandals that, again, they typically have not been one to have answers for. It leads to the Vandals getting picked off, having to back up, restabilize in a lot of these fights, and just really take too much time often to figure out, like, how do we approach this?
Yeah.
Right? You see the rush kind of close for Meat. Widowfang does find Dashbra as a little bit of revenge. That's going to be that bullet denied for an early fight damage. But you also have the Blossom that's pretty close for Gator, right? You also have the Rampage that's really close for Junker Queen. So it's really just going to be about how much damage can the Vandals get off to at least push Cobleskill off or maybe get a couple kills before they're threatened too much for comfort on this point.
Absolutely. We're getting requests in chat to go ahead and turn up the game audio if you guys could do that for us, broadcast. Might have to be next round, by the way. Thank you for pointing that out. Apologies to cut you out there. But yeah, the Vandals holding it down. Did lose the objective here. Go ahead and take it right back, though. Nice pickup on the team fight.
And not too much cap progress lost, too. However, it was a really productive neutral for Cobleskill. Aspect having gotten a lot of ult charts. That orbital, the Bola is still online, and the Blossom now up for the side of Cobleskill. They have a lot of offensive opportunities to walk with. It's really not a lot of answers that the Vandals have other than the bead, and it really just does depend on if Magic Turtle is on an angle when they decide to take that push, or if they're where they need to be, right? You do see the downpour get a couple people, and
nice,
as well as the Tectonic Shock from the Widowfang doing a lot of follow-up. However, Gator is not going to be denied some progress for Cobleskill. That's going to be 2-3 now for that Deathly Reaper. It's going to be Meat and Lucio last left alive, and he's TPing in. He's trying to move him out. He's making it as uncomfortable as possible for the Vandals to walk, just so Cobleskill can stall and get that cap progress back on their side. You see a couple swaps as well. Dashbra moving from the Freya to the Soldier, and Brawler moving from the Hazard to the Orisa. Again, they're kind of stuck not being able to rely on that Zarya. So, they have to take some unique approaches to Cobleskill's defense for right now.
Does seem that way. Duking it out right on point. Sandman able to take out Aspect. Good pick coming in from there as we're going to follow it up, take out Gator too. Force SUNY to fall back just a bit. Going to catch the Junker Queen here on point alone. Try and bully her, but she's going to take Sandman out with him. Oh, Widowfang's in deep, able to get the trade onto Dashburn here in the back line. Brawler will go ahead and take up the elimination on the B, and Vandals will recap the point here. They got to hold this down, though, if they want to take this map with them and keep this round alive. They did get up to 99% while losing round 1, so one team fight could be over for Idaho here. See how SUNY has to re-cooperate and dive back in to pick up their round 1.
Although, you gotta notice that Idaho is actually on the front side in terms of ult advantage here. They have that rush up, they have the Orisa ult up, and they're really close to that Tectonic Shock again. Meanwhile, we're still waiting on that Blossom for the side of Cobleskill, and we're waiting on the Rampage, which does come out, but they have the Suzu to answer it. That's going to be Aspect falling first. So much damage coming out from the Orisa ult, and that's going to be just so much follow-up, so much cleanup. B does try to find one for their troubles, but it's not going to be enough. Brawler's going to find Kip to just end the fight right there. That's going to be the second point guaranteed for the Vandals.
Keeps that round alive. Game should be still going on. We should have one more round here.
Very well fought from both sides. And now it all comes down to this. The picture point, which I just call square coconut point because it drops coconuts when somebody wins the points. But I don't remember what it's actually called.
I think that's a good name for it, though. I feel like the community comes up with their own names in games like this, especially Overwatch, and they become the official names despite not being the official names. Like, I don't know, like everyone calls Winston Monkey, Orisa Horse.
Yeah.
That's not their names, but is it easier to say?
Of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
See the Widowfang for the TP. And coming out on the venture once again, the undeniable. We've been seeing it for a couple weeks now, and again, with these tight corners and angles, there are a lot of great vantage points for Venture to be able to play.
Yes, there is. I think it's worth noting there is at least one Venture player out there, Blizzard, so stop trying to deny them anything.
Yeah. Now, see this fight breaking out in pretty break speed, right? The Vandals decide to go through the circular room. They have that mega advantage there. So it's going to be a little bit harder to work your way out, but when you're fighting against that JQ, there's not a lot that you can do on the side of Cobleskill, right? It's going to be a lot of damage that the Vandals are able to find and just break out of that room, force Cobleskill out, and start their defense and their cap progress.
Looking, yeah, not quite looking to go ahead and run towards spawn to go catch the Junker Queen and the Juno. Falling back just a little bit. Did what they needed to do with getting everybody else back in that spawn room, though. Looks like we're going to go ahead and try and push right through the center once again for Cobleskill to try to catch the Vandals, but the Vandals are not letting them touch the point. Hunkered down here behind this Orisa barrier. Pushing back any damage. Can you get the shot out, get Brawler real low, and force the fall back.
Force that axe out, too. That means that the Vandals are allowed to walk just a little bit further than they could have. With that Juno out as well, it's going to be harder for them to do anything. Gator taking so much damage, as well as Dashbra, who's going to be next to fall. With that Deadeye up, Magic Turtle finding 2 for his money in Widowfang, finding Junker Queen. The Vandals are just trying to push the advantage as much as they can and going to do so successfully. That's going to be that team wipe for the Vandals. Just keep that percentage moving. Unfortunately, it does not look as close as it did before for Cobleskill, but hey, us Vandal fans here are much more comfortable with
almost
that
have 5 ults on the board for Idaho, too. All right, trying to push right through the center once again, but got that Orisa blocking your line of view. Sandman's going to go ahead and pick up a little cast diff on a Dashbra. Going to lose Magic Turtle in the process. Brawler's going to come back down with the Orisa ult and pick up Aspect. Force the fight to break down on the point. We're going to get a high noon drawing in from the back lines. Looking to go ahead and zone him out, maybe grab an elimination. Nobody home, though. I like how Cobleskill is just swapping on over to match our DPS with the cast and the Venture. I think it's the first time I've ever seen one of Idaho's opponents pull out the Venture against him. Going to go ahead and seem to have worked, though, as they picked up the fight here as Idaho got up to 93%.
But, I mean, in a very scrappy fashion. Honestly, from both sides, right? You see the 3 ults come out from the side of the Vandals. Sandman having dropped that Deadeye when he was literally at 1 health, dying from bleed from the Rampage. I'm not exactly sure what that was doing, but honestly, me on cast.
Valid.
You also saw some Moira swap come out from the side of Kip, which is a little bit curious, and I'm not exactly sure how that's willing to play into what the Vandals are running right now, but we'll see. In the meantime, we're going to see a massive cast gap. That Deadeye from Dashbra finding both their cast, or the Vandals cast, and Meat as well as finding Widowfang a little bit later just to push them back even more. And Cobleskill is here to prove that it is not over for them. Trying to get that percentage up a little bit more. Obviously, they're quite behind, and the Vandals just looking for an opportunity to get back on point, finish things up so they can get this map over with and go to Kings Row.
I don't hate this approach coming in from the left side. Bar's going to go ahead and catch Daphra with the spear. Not quite able to finish the job, but Widowfang's there to help him out. Gator's going to trade for Sandman, but Aspect's going to go ahead and take out Brawler 2 while we're at it. Widowfang's got the beat on him right now. Go ahead, try to keep him alive. Aspect's on a rampage, picking up 3.
You cannot stop them. That rally is up, and they are unstoppable. And once again, the Vandals are on the back foot. They're waiting on that Orisa ult. They have the Tectonic Shock, but no support ults coming up. Meanwhile, that Coalescence is about to be out for Cobleskill, as well as the Rampage and the Tectonic Shock. There's going to be a lot of offensive pressure that Cobleskill is going to have that the Vandals can't really answer to unless they're able to get a pick early enough. They're going to look for it here. Obviously, Brawler going in for the Orisa ult. Doesn't seem like they find anything off it, but they do take out B. Daphra also falling. Aspect finding a trade on the tank and making things way harder for the Vandals, but maybe not over. Gator is going to find themselves too, and it's all up to Magic Turtle. This 1v1 for the entire map that they're going to lose. That final fight determining the first map for Cobleskill, Samoa. It's going to be lost by the Vandals in a very sad fashion.
Yeah, very. First time they've lost on game 1. Only second map they've lost this season, though. Well fought from Cobleskill, though. I mean, every single strategy they had, the Vandals had, well, not every single one. That was actually a very close map, no matter what, but Cobleskill just had the Vandals number at the end of the day.
Yeah. I missed the fluctuation, but I heard what you said. And unfortunately, like, as I was saying, like, on point 1, right, Cobleskill was running comps that Vandals really didn't have an answer to, and a lot of that was based around the Junker Queen and the Reaper, right? When you're playing that Junker Queen Reaper, Juno Brig, a lot of what you're kind of just playing is Deathball. And that's what Samoa is really, really good for. You can kind of hold these corners and angles as a group. And unless if you have someone that's really being an active threat to your backline or to anybody that's threatening your core, you're not really going to be able to break out of it, right? And the Vandals tried multiple times, but, you know, we definitely saw a little bit of a weaker performance on the side of Widowfang. And, you know, when we chose to play certain angles that were definitely more towards Cobleskill advantage rather than ours, it made things way more difficult for us than it really had to be. But hey, that means we get the opportunity to choose what map 2 is, and hopefully it's not Kings Row.
It's going to be Kings Row.
Hey, who knows? But all I know is that the Vandals are really still trying to hold their own in this matchup. And, you know, you really do have to give them credit. It went to 3 points. Each point was pretty much like 99 to 99. They were all very close. But you know, sometimes it's just those heat of the moment decisions that really can make or break fights, or make or break rounds for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Just, I mean, getting caught stuck in that 1v1 there, as only a Lucio left against a Venture. All you kind of hope for is to get what damage you out can, but try and go ahead and just try to stall for your team. That's one of the beauties of Lucio on that point. All right, it looks like we're going to go to Runasapi next map with a Soldier and Kiriko ban.
Kiriko ban is pretty good for Cobleskill, because obviously Meat is unfortunately a little bit of a one-trick.
That's not true.
I kind of seen them only on the Kiriko and pretty much nothing else. But the Soldier is pretty ruthless if you have a hit scan who is lethal enough on those flanks.
That's true. No, Meat is a Mercy main and has been waiting for the opportunity to bust out Mercy in a game. So if they ban Kiriko, his wish has been fulfilled. And I do love the idea of seeing this pharmacy rolling on this map here. There's a lot of open air that you can play around with amazing corners to hide around too. So this should be a fun strategy coming in from the Vandals. It's a new one here. But they do have to look out for this Widowfang, because if you're caught in the wrong place in the wrong time, you can get your head blown right off. Brawler rolling in on the ball. Pretty good for push maps too. Got a lot of places you can run around and grapple to and hide. Magic Trouble's going to go ahead and pick up Kip for the first elimination of this fight.
definitely going to be a little bit hard for Brawler to stay up infinitely. Obviously, Aspect is going to be a big threat to that backline. You see Gator finding some great damage onto the backline and finishing it up with a kill on Magic Turtle. Is going to be traded out by the Pharah, which fortunately is doing their job, getting that good damage off with the help of the Mercy. And the res coming out for Magic Turtle as well, which means now the Vandals have the numbers advantage, right? Well, the rest of Cobleskill tries to restabilize. You do see Dashbro find Sandman, but Widowfang is going to find the whole backline, the Juno and the Brig, to really give the Vandals the advantage in this neutral.
Does look like that. When was the last time we'd seen Mercy be played competitively? Because like the only time I can think is the Moth meta back in 2017 when they first reworked her. So I'm very interested to see how
probably win, or like some troll times.
Yeah.
You see Mercy come out as like a joke for some teams.
That's true. So I'm very interested to see Mercy be played in a competitive format like this.
Now, something I'm definitely a little bit concerned about, at least for the side of Sandman, is going to be that Widowmaker, right? If they're not being consistently marked by Widowfang, which has been picked really early in this fight, that means that they're going to be susceptible to a lot of damage, won't be able to stay out in the open for too long, and even with the help of that Mercy, they're just not going to have as much uptime to be able to have the impact that a Pharah really should have in this comp.
Yeah, as we just saw, Sandman did get caught with his pants down and got his head blown off for it. And Widowfang trying to go into the back line, forced to flee though. Good push coming in from Cobleskill though, as Dashbird's going to find another dink on a meat. They're about halfway there to push this robot towards lead, and almost got that spawn point advantage here. Nice trade coming in from Sandman.
You see Kip going on the ultimate pursuit, doing what Moira does best, and just really punishing people who are out of position, who can't really rotate super easily. Has that fade to work with to close a lot of distance, and because of it, like the Vandals really have not been able to restabilize to be able to, really fight any of these at the consistency of which they should.
Brawler will look to go in deep and try to take out this Moira here in the back line. Rest of the team here for the support. Able to finish the job. Sandman turns it around and gets a nice pick on the Gator. Magic Turtle looking to heal the team up from the back lines, doing those beautiful Ana things. Sandman's able to take out B. That's going to be a retake from the Idaho. Going to start pushing the robot their way. Dashburn just getting piled on by the entire Vandals roster here right now.
The Vandals finally having an opportunity to flip, start getting some cart progress of their own. Gator and Kip setting up for this next fight near the Mega at their forward spawn, which they rightfully earned. Vandals still really on a significant back foot here. They're just trying to find anything to walk with. They have the Nano up, they have the EMP up. You see this tectonic shock here in the Nano. It's going to go out to Sandman, who is really going to have to do a lot to make a significant impact on this fight. Dashbra does punish Widowfang, who pops out of the flank with the EMP. And now that's two kind of faulty ults from the side of the Vandals that cost them that fight.
Yeah, the EMP was thrown out, but not quite able to finish the job the way that Widowfang was hoping it would. They had that rally up, and they were able to go ahead and counter everything that just happened. And another excellent use of rally coming in from Aspect here.
Going into this next fight, once again, Cobleskill has that forward spawn and is going to be playing with it pretty well. It's really hard to fight from this point when you're on the defense and they have the forward spawn. But seems like it's not going to be too impossible. B is going to fall to Deadeye, and the rest of Cobleskill is going to have to back up. That means Vandal can take the advantage while using an ult for it, or a couple. I did see the mines come out from Brawler, saw the Deadeye from Sandman, and Dashbra is going to find Widowfang. Sandman taking a significant amount of damage. Fortunately, is going to be able to live, and Magic Turtle is going to find the cast for it. Hopefully doing enough to keep the Vandals on good pace for this fight, but not enough. Gator is absolutely going to melt Sandman, and Aspect taking out the backline on their own. Absolutely brutal work from the side of Cobleskill. going into 425 with a 60-meter lead and counted. Doesn't look like they're going to be stopping any soon with these ults that they have online.
No, it doesn't. Magic Turtle's going to be forced to draw with the Brig of his own, though. Meat takes this walk onto Ana. Getting caught right here, right around this first corner to finish the objective. Still not having the answer that the Vandals are looking for against SUNY's Junker Queen. Running this brawl comp with a Cassidy in the backline who can go ahead and provide the pressure that's needed. Zone out with behind him like we just heard. Dashbra able to pick up one and find another. And make it 3.
Oh my goodness. That is not what you want to see for! Oh, as Sandman tries to swing out of the room.
Widowfang's trying.
I mean, they're alive and just really has to work to not get staggered here. And does. Oh, that is so unfortunate. First pick again in this fight. Trying as hard as they possibly can to find any sort of coverage, but Dashbra is just going to deny it. Magic Turtle dying again. Dashbra finally going to fall to Sandman getting smoked a little bit.
But Kip has Coalescence. You can go ahead and throw that into the back line and heal up everyone and damage everyone while you're at it. Getting a little bit of pressure applied onto them as Brawler's looking to dive right on into the fight. And they're able to push them back. Retake the robot just a bit right at the last moment here. Gonna lose a player for each team so far. Magic Turtle and Gator taking the hits.
But Kip is going to be back faster. Obviously, Cobleskill does have that forward spawn. So while they're trying to restabilize, they're not going to be down for too long. You see the Wu Yang ult. Oh, that was a nano. I thought it was a Wu Yang ult for some reason. Come out to help keep Sandman alive, and Meat almost falling as well. Fortunately surviving. Did see a swap in who was playing Ana, and Magic Turtle was pushed onto Lucio, giving the Vandals a little bit of speed, a little bit of tempo control, which they so desperately need, but it's not helping. Tectonic Shock is finding 4. The DPS line from Cobleskill absolutely melting the Vandals at any attempt that they try and take to flip this bot.
Yeah, 2 minutes left and 120-meter difference right now. SUNY's just got a little bit more to go ahead and finish the job out right here and get the robot pushed right where they want it to go. Vandals are going to go ahead and contest the objective, eat a bunch of damage for it, and get forced to fall back. Huge Graviton Surge coming out from Brawler, picks up everybody, but another rally is active. Magic Turtle finds one and Brawler gets another. Dashbra able to take out one in the fight, get Brawler with them. But oh my gosh, what a triple kill from Magic Turtle as the Vandals do pick up the TK they want and need at this point right now. Start swinging the robot back the opposite direction.
Once again, another attempt to fight the neutral. It seems like every time that the Vandals get to this point, there's something really bad that stops them, but Cobleskill doesn't really have a lot to fight this with other than the Deadeye. So should the Deadeye find anything in this neutral, you know, maybe it should turn out very well for them, but they're probably not going to have a great opportunity to do so, and I lied. Magic Turtle is dead, 90 to beat. Kip does die pretty early in the fight, but they're still going to have the opportunity to come back. Brawler does take out Gator with some nice shots from Dashbra. Finding more firepower onto the backline of the Vandals. That's Meat falling. B finding great knife damage to kill Brawler, kill Sandman. Dashbra finding Widowfang. Magic Turtle does find Dashbra for the troubles, but immediately has to leave as he's outnumbered. And once again, the Vandals are forced to back up, give up forward spawn once more as they're going into final overtime fight territory.
Does seem that way. It's interesting to see. I was going to say, I wonder how far they're going to go ahead and push the robot, because if you go ahead and push it too close to the spawn room, you're going to trigger an even longer overtime fight than you want if you're SUNY right now. So they did stop it about halfway point. So they clearly have the distance advantage. Widowfang's going to go ahead and try and drop a tectonic shift from the back line. Not able to pick anybody up. Tries to take the Jungle Queen out of the fight, but it does not work the way he was intending it to. And now it did. Brawler's able to finish the job, but not without taking out Sandman. Dashbra getting dove on by all the supports right now as B gets the quick melee in to finish it off. Gator's going to go ahead and take Widowfang out of this fight. Grouped up here in the center, looking to keep it alive if you're Idaho right now, and if you're SUNY, you're just trying to get your W out. Meat's able to take one out. We've got a Graviton Surge on the field. leaving Aspect all alone with no rally to keep them up this time around.
I mean, a good fight for the Vandals, but
He got a long way to go.
yeah, and I mean, you don't want to use ults like that in an
No.
overtime fight, especially since now Cobleskill is basically coming up on 5. Right, 86 to Rally, 97 to Cole, 94 to Deadeye, and 89 to Tectonic Shock. Did just use the Rampage at the end of that last fight, but it just means that they're set up so much better for these next few fights than the Vandals are, leaving them very, very vulnerable to losing this in the overtime here.
It does seem that way. You want to get those eliminations out before they have the ability to press Q. And now 4 ultimates are up for Cobleskill. You go ahead and pop the rally. Why not? You've already lost Widow Fang. Keep the advantage going. Zone him out with the high noon. Able to take out Magic Turtle with him. Kip gets another pick on the meat. Sandman tries to take a trade onto Aspect and Dashbra. But Gator's going to finish the job, wipe out the last 2 Vandals remaining. That's a team kill W and a round 2 victory coming in for SUNY Cobleskill.
Very, very unfortunate first 2 maps for the Vandals. If you're a Cobleskill fan, you're probably feeling really good. But us here in the caster booths are a little disheartened.
Hey, it's really impressive to see a team come in and dog walk a undefeated team so far. So shout out to Cobleskill.
Yeah.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Absolutely. The only thing that the Vandals really have to think about here is, like, what are they good at? Right? Again, they've been having a very hard time fighting into this Junker Queen, and they decided not to ban it going into the second map.
That's true.
B is very, very strong on that character and hasn't played anything else the entire series, so you know, maybe forcing them to swap to something different may give them, or may give the Vandals the edge they need to actually take a map, but it's really going to be tough to say.
It is. Yeah, Cobbleskill's playing their hearts out right now, having an answer for everything they need, but the Vandals are not going down without a fight. They took that game to overtime, tried pushing the objective as far as they could. They did not get as much distance, nearly as much distance as Cobleskill did that round, but round 1 was close too, so we're going to take it to game 3 and see if the Vandals are going to lose 0-3 for the first time. Maybe pick up a reverse sweep. Only time can tell.
Yeah, I mean, the Vandals, they really need to push for that reverse sweep. Need to pick whatever they have a strong understanding of into the rest of this series to make sure that they don't break that undefeated streak, right?
Absolutely.
They've been incredibly dominant so far throughout the season, and to already be down 2 maps in kind of a devastating fashion is really subverting a lot of expectations that have been placed onto this team. So I'm a little bit concerned about how things are going for them and can only hope for the best.
That is true, but not everybody's perfect.
Of course.
Makes sense. You can't win every single game you play, so even if they do take an L, it happens.
But you can certainly try.
That's true.
Can certainly try. In the meantime, we are going to run to a quick break because I need to take a bio break. So I would advise you don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back with more exciting varsity Overwatch action here at the Idaho Esports Twitch channel.
All right, yeah, see you all in a few. Okay. See you in the bathroom? Oh. Welcome back. Just finished up map 2 on our stream against SUNY. Oh my gosh, why am I blanking? SUNY Cobleskill. We're going into map 3 here shortly. I bet you guys can't guess what map's going to be on. What map do you think it's going to be on?
I think it's going to be Numbani.
So wrong. I'm very shocked to say
You can always hope.
going to be Kings Row.
Wow. That's not surprised me. They don't go Kings Row second map and they lose and they're like, okay, well,
Kings
I guess
Row it is.
for a reason.
All reliable.
I do get it. And again, it's what I was talking. You know, I don't know if anybody noticed before, but like before the break, I was talking. It's like the Vandals need to just go back to something that they know and trust. And I wasn't saying that they had to go Kings Row.
You were
But I was
manifesting.
kind of saying that they needed to go Kings Row.
Yeah. And maybe ban Junker Queen. Speaking
Yeah.
of, what are our broadcasts? What are our hero bans for this map?
Okay.
Oh, awesome.
Well, we'll find out at some point.
If I think a Junker Queen, Reaper and Lucio are going to be our bans. Okay, so not going to go ahead and try to snuff out the tank, who's kind of their strongest, one of their strongest players right now, I would say, for Cobleskill.
But the Reaper is like a big part of what has allowed Cobleskill have to be
Absolutely.
so successful, right?
Oh
Again,
my
when you're
gosh, the
playing
winter
that Queen
update's out.
comp, when you're playing that Queen update, or sorry, when you're playing Queen, it's you're relying on the Reaper a lot. Right?
Yeah.
Find axe damage and to be in a position where they can kind of just squish the whatever they're trying to fight and just continue to work, right? But it's been a little hard for the Vandals to have an answer to that, so maybe the Reaper, or just getting rid of the Reaper, is how they're going to deal with that. Not having that Reaper actually forces Cobleskill to fight a very different composition. This time,
Torbjorn.
Torbjorn is on the field. No, no, he is on the side of Gator, as well as Dashra on that Freya. Another very common comp that we saw pre-perks, as we were talking about. And you're running that Juno Kiri for the backline, one for the speed, and the other for that big damage that Kiri has, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Vandals looking to take the offensive push, though, here. Trying to wrap around, not going through the hotel room like we normally see them do, and they're kind of looking to bum rush straight onto the objective, and they are going to go ahead and start rounding it up. He's going to pick out Sandman to start off this team fight. Put the Vandals back, their big poke, their big pressure, and Meat's going to go ahead and take another fall, too. Dashbra finding a second on a Brawler, and a third on the Magic Turtle. I do like seeing the Torbjorn here, like we were talking about earlier. Telling a 2017 Overwatch eSport follower that Torbjorn would be played in competition. is just so fun to see. And that's what I love about this game right now. The state that it's in, with every character being so balanced that, like, it's not ridiculous to go ahead and throw out a Torb. Why not? It's fun. They have the Overwatch team does get clowned on quite a bit, but they've done a really good job at creating a balanced game. Whoa, yes, that was.
Dash, bro.
Racked him up in the back line.
Don't worry about it. But we are seeing a lot of the damage go out onto the side of the Vandals. Magic Turtle and Meat getting absolutely melted. That DPS line is going to be next to fall, and Brawler going to be the last to fall for his team, and just forcing the Vandals back to the spawn room. These first couple fights have not looked very good, but mostly due to Dashbra, right? Freya with those right clicks. And it's not to say that Freya is broken, but it's to say that Dashbra has been really on top of their game with those take aims. It's been... You can't really poke that out.
No.
A lot of the time, right? Or at least the Vandals don't really have anything to poke it out, right? Widowfang hasn't really ever gotten into a position to really counter the Freya ever. And now we see the cast coming out from the side of the Vandals, which do a little bit to answer that, right? You get some good space, you get the Deadeye out, it forces all of Cobleskill to hide in rooms, while the rest of the Vandals can try and just get some cap progress on. It seems to be working, right? They got those 2 ticks. Meat gonna find the last 2, and Magic Turtle finding that last 1 for the brief little team wipe. So the Vandals can cap that first point in 4 minutes.
Yeah, nice push coming on here. I'm going to see if they'll get held up on their corners, that they either hold down really well on defense or get held up really often on offense. See what strategies they might have to come up with to counteract this crazy positioning that King's Row allows for the defenders to take. 98 onto the Rampage, though. Got the Vandals lined up. You can cut them right down. Get that huge bleed and anti-heal effect rolling on through. Dashbra looking to play a pretty close up with the rest of the team right now. Not looking to stick back. He's going to land that alt fire on the Brawler. Huge damage taken onto him, forcing him to go ahead and draw out the alt form. Nice bolo coming in this time around. Not picking up anybody with it, though. Then is forced to fall back in. Try to get the health pack, but a nice anti on the Brawler is going to allow Aspect to finish the job. Force Meat to go back, join the rest of the team. Same for Widowfang. All the Vandals have to disengage there without their tank, out their Titan to go and protect them leading into this fight. Dashbra does not care. He's running back towards the spawn, trying to get in this high ground window, creep down, and land as many shots and get as much damage. Maybe try to looking for elimination, but nobody was home for it. Brawler is back onto the field, waiting for the tank. B rotating around this hotel room corner here, or the copy corner. Not finding anyone just yet. Forcing waiting to fall back as Dashbra's going to go and take Meat out of this fight.
On a beautiful flank. You see the EMP coming out from Widowfang, but it's shut down so fast. You did see the Torb come out as well. Gonna find Sandman, and primary fire gonna find Widowfang. Very unfortunate fall. But at least 3 ults used in that total fight, but more used from the side of the Vandals rather than Cobleskill. Cobleskill still has their supports ults up. And much better opportunities to win using them, right? That rush allows them to find so much more space and speed, right? In the orbital, allowing them to kind of just walk down the lane and do as much damage as they want. And they don't really have a counter to that, so the Vandals are just going to fall, right? Aspect going to be finding Brawler very first off, and that's just going to be the rest of the Vandals, right? See Sandman, Meat, Magic Turtle falling. And once again, it's just looking like a really hard time for the Vandals. Playing into B on the Junker Queen, playing into Dashbra on literally any hit scan ever. Doing a lot of work and definitely up for a man of the match contender here.
Yeah, Vandals got about a minute and a half left, and they have not got much distance onto this payload here. Not even able to wrap it fully around this first corner yet. So they're getting help pretty well, and it's looking like that's going to keep staying the case. Aspect's going to take Widowfang out. He's looking for the flank in the back line. Dual Kitsune rushes coming out for both sides here. Not quite an advantage for either team. Brawler's going to find one, but Dashbra's going to take it up and get one with the Bolio. Magic Turtle finding 2, though. Even getting the elimination with the ultimate burst. Brawler running in, chasing down B, able to beam him down, and Meat's going to finish the job and take him out of this fight. Nice little stagger as the rest of Cobleskill is forced to go back, and Vandals get distance on the payload that they needed to take.
Absolutely great fight. B dying that close to Rampage is definitely a little sad. Obviously, they have to step back even if they had the disadvantage before, but it doesn't seem like that's going to stop the rest of Cobleskill. Dashbra is going to find Meat very early on, but Brawler is going to find Gator shut some things down, but just because of the damage that they already have, the Vandals really have to take a step back to protect themselves, and unfortunately it's not going to be enough to, right? B and Dashbra are going to find a plethora of kills to just shut down the Vandals, make things a lot slower, and end their push right an inch away from capping that second point around the second corner. 5 seconds left, and yeah, I mean, Meat tries to make a beeline for it and is not going to be able to get there in time.
Didn't even make it to that first checkpoint.
Unfortunate. 110 meters that Cobleskill has to push, and I'm sure with the way that the rest of the series has been going, they're not feeling worried about it at all.
It does not seem so.
Initiating match.
Cobleskill is a huge threat at this point to go ahead and end Idaho's undefeated streak here on Overwatch. Up 2-0. Very, very solid defensive hold here onto this King's Row point. Not even allowing them to go ahead and take the second objective. Vandals were able to find the first, though. So if they hold down on the defense, they can keep this series alive.
It's going to take an absolute miracle for the Vandals to hold this one down and have any kind of opportunity of winning the series via reverse sweep, right?
Does seem that way.
Do see Brawler coming out on the Sigma, participating in his namesake.
Pretty good pick for this portion of the map on defense. Sigma has a lot of utility to go ahead and block off angles, deny the Widowmaker, and reposition that shield anywhere that it's needed to go. Do wish we got to see the attack torp coming in from Cobleskill. That would have been pretty funny. But Gator's still undecided on who he wants to be. Dashbird running the Widow. Common pick for attack on King's Row. Easy dinks up there. Got free high ground right in your spawn room. Looks like we're going to run the Sojourn. All right. That's not ridiculous. All right, nice wall. Oh, my goodness. Nice May wall coming in from Widowfang here. Trying to isolate B from the rest of the team. Not quite work how he was expecting it to, though. Dashbird is going to go ahead and get a dink onto me.
Very unfortunate, and a lot of space going to be created off of that, right? B's going to walk up, find Deadly Axe. Not finding any kills off it, but doing a lot of damage, leaving a lot of the Vandals at critical and at danger of falling in this fight. Brawler is just playing on the last of his life here, but Sandman is going to clutch it up. He's going to find 2, Dashbra and Kip, to take things into his hands, and going to find Gator as well. B's going to shut it down before they have to walk back past the choke. But it's going to be some good action to keep the Vandals alive in this fight. 3 minutes now left on the time bake for Cobleskill, and I mean, they really got to think about how to approach this. B is pretty close to that Rampage already, working the 63, and Aspect that's 70 already. It could mean some very early ult fights are about to happen that should allow them to push back this choke, maybe cap the point. No way to say for sure, though. Aspect's taking a lot of damage, meaning they're going to have to stay back, but somehow B has walked with their team all the way past the choke. Gator's going to find 2, and Dashbrad's going to fall to Brawl, or Dashbrad's going to take out Brawler. I mean,
no.
They didn't even have to use any ults to get there.
Not at all. They were very, very aggressive and stuck with it, and it paid off in their favor. Chasing the Vandals out, not even going to cap the objective, just want the eliminations, pick up the fight. And now you got 4 minutes, 45 seconds to go ahead and push the payload about 100 meters.
And with the ults that are already online, I mean, I was going to say it was a little bit nerve-wracking, but not enough. Dashbra is going to be first to fall alongside Aspects, and some more damage going out onto the rest of Cobleskill. Kip going to be falling on their way back past the choke. Gator going to try and fall, take some cover to make sure that they aren't staggered as well.
So that way Vandals are going to go and try and stop them here from pushing the payload any further. Stuck here right at the first objective. Widowfang looking to go ahead and try to wall off an opponent here. Probably here to protect them with the shield. We're going to have a little bit of a contention breaking out. Nice wall trying to deny the Sojourn from using that railgun ult. Drop the Blizzard onto the point. Sandman is able to pick up Gator in that fight, but Dashbro's going to take the trade, take out Magic Turtle. Trying to keep Jungle Queen from the rest of the team, and it does work as Brawler's able to finish the job.
But Wuyan is dead with their ult up, and I'm a little bit concerned about what that's going to mean once the rest of Cobleskill restabilizes, right? They have the spot advantage. They still have the ults up, the rush and the orbital from the side of Aspect and Kip. Meaning in a fight, in a numbers disadvantage like this, I mean, who knows what can really happen. Dashbra is going to take out Wu Yang with their ult still up, and Meat's going to try and save it with the Nano, but it's not going to do enough. B's going to be the first one to find something. Taking out Widowfang really, really early. A lot of damage going out onto the Ana, and they're just trying to work with the advantage that they already have. Nothing is stopping that Zarya from walking forward, and hopefully Brawler is going to be able to do something with that Flux. Does do some damage, but not enough. A full charge Zarya is just going to absolutely walk past that Sigma, melt them. Walk past Ana, melt them. They're going even further. Dashbro with a lethal angle that the rest of the Vandals aren't really going to be able to fight against. They're on this last little bit of a push. Cobleskill already past the second corner with 2:30 left on their clock. It's do or die for the Vandals, and well, B's gonna die. Dashbra is gonna find Sandman. There's no opportunity for them to save this, is there?
Pop the Wu Yang onto the Winston though. He's gonna try and dive in. It seemed to work pretty well as he was able to take out Gator with it. Stopping the payload right when it matters. 2 minutes left. Just a little bit more to push though if you're SUNY Cobble right now. Staggering out Dashburn just a bit. Widowfang looking to finish the job off. Solid hold right now from Idaho. Oh, nice strat from B there to go ahead and pop the bubble. Try to rack up a little bit of charge from the Wu Yang spam coming in because he's not seeing what he's aiming at.
And getting some more with that second bubble. It's going to be great. You expect to see Aspect try to drop this rush here. You can see the rest of the team preparing for it. You see the wall to push them off a little bit. The orbital is going to come out first. You see the grab coming out, and Brawler's going to be the first to fall. The Blizzard and Deadeye both pop from the Vandals, but not finding anything but freezing the Bastion. Aspect stays alive on a single speck of health and gets the rush out before they have the chance of dying. That's going to be B finding Sandman, Aspect finding Meat. Magic Turtle going to be the last to fall. I mean, the Vandal can try as hard as they can, but will not be able to hold them off for much longer. A devastating 3-0 loss, a victory to the side of Cobleskill, and the undefeated streak of the Vandals regular season ended today.
That was pretty insane. GG's Cobleskill, and congratulations on your win and ending, like Kaz just said, that undefeated streak. So well done. Some great games that we just watched. Vandals tried their hardest, did not go down without a fight every single map, kept it alive as long as they could, but Cobleskill just had the leg up when they needed to. Great play from B there on the Junker Queen. That was absolutely insane. Knew just when to axe, knew just when to roll in with the team. Perfect use of that commanding shout, and the Vandals just did not have the answer for it. Go ahead and throw some replays up from these games.
I mean, yeah, and you can see exactly what I was talking about. You saw why the Reaper ban was so impactful for the Vandals in King's Row, but unfortunately just not enough, right? Obviously, Gator was doing some big, heavy work, and they had been relying on that comp for, like, 2 maps, basically. So being able to shut that down was really important to the Vandals, but the bans can only do so much for you, right? You know, it's not just one person on the side of Cobleskill who was pretty much carrying everything for them the entire series, right? All of their players are incredibly talented, and we're having opportunities to have star moments that the Vandals, again, just didn't have answers for, could not fight against. As they're going into next week, they're really going to have to think about why things went so poorly for them this time around, and if there's anything that they can do to make sure that this kind of thing doesn't happen to them again.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I say they just kind of got to stick with the momentum, realize they're still up 5-6 wins. One loss isn't going to totally throw their record away, throw their win-loss percentage out of the window. And it just happens. It's part of the game. You can't win every single time, so it makes sense.
Mm-hmm. But an absolutely well-played game between both teams today. Congratulations to Cobleskill for taking that undefeated streak away from us. From the caster room, that's going to be us. That's going to be it from us for tonight. So we hope you enjoyed the stream. If you did, I hope you do follow us. If you aren't already, turn on that notification bell as well, so you never miss another stream.
Don't want to miss a stream again, go ahead and get some get some great internet connections so you don't have to worry about dropping it, losing it, or anything. And we love Ziply Fiber out here in Moscow, Idaho, for giving us the only fiber internet in the area, keeping us active, keeping us alive, and not letting us throw our games and get those DCs. House full of gamers, never had one crash using Ziply. If you're a student, go ahead and check them out at ziply.com/students because they have some student program and offers for up to $10 a month. And another huge shout out to my favorite drink in the world, Monster Energy. Thank you so much for keeping me caffeinated and keeping me alive for these past 10 years of my life, as well as fueling the rest of the Vandals, Esports Lab, players, and everyone alike, keeping us fueled to lock in and take those W's every single day that we can. But anyways, I've been Spirit. This is Kaz. Come check us out tomorrow, 5 o'clock for League of Legends. And we'll see y'all next week.